Tonight on CTV News at 11:30. Northerners pitch in to dig themselves out after a monster storm. More than 24 hours later, some are still without power, while others are freeing themselves from all that snow. Plus, a couple behind a restorative justice program are working to keep it going.
Some ways, it feels like we're just getting started.
The future right now uncertain. They're in need of funding. And expanding access to the HOV lanes.
7, 8 o'clock at night, people should be able to use the HOV lanes.
Several new measures the province has announced recently.
CTV News at 11:30 with Ian Campbell.
Good evening. Thanks for staying up with us. Mother Nature has left us with a wild 48 hours, much of which we are still digging out from even at this hour. This was the scene just down the road from the TV station earlier today. This video sent to us from a viewer. Debbie tells us her son Paul was just trying to get out of the laneway to go to work. They hadn't seen a plow before they knew it. They had almost a dozen of their neighbors out pitching in. Neighbor helping neighbor. That's really been the big theme of this story. With several highway closures in the Northeast, many travelers across the region were stranded, including one family from Levac. CTV's Lindsay Alex starts us off tonight.
Monique and Amanda Lacroix have been stranded at the watershed since Sunday evening, where Highway 144 meets 560.
We left Friday morning from Levac up to Cochrane for a snowmobile race. And then when we were done racing Sunday, we tried to rush to get back home, but we didn't make it.
The sister-in-laws are part of a group of 5 that are currently sleeping in their vehicles, but say are thankful for food and restrooms available here 24/7.
They've been taking really good care of us. There's everything here that you need, other than a shower and a bed for us.
They aren't the only travelers stranded at the watershed, though.
I spoke to a couple of them this morning. One's from Lively and the other one from Naughton. So they're a ways away too.
Some people that I did speak to were from Ottawa.
It's all about public safety, of course.
Constable Kyler Brower says an MTO snowplow followed by an OPP cruiser reopened Highway 11 northbound this morning.
During this time, it is still under a controlled reopening, so we're asking people not to pass, especially not to leave vehicles, but even within itself, be patient. We'll get it open, and we'll get it open safely.
Similar controlled openings will take place across the Northeast as conditions allow. Constable Brower says that Ontario 511 remains the most up-to-date resource for motorists. Lindsay Alex, CTV News, Sudbury.
Speaking of controlled openings, this was the scene earlier as the OPP started opening Highway 11 between Temagami and North Bay earlier today. One of our viewers, Don Boucher, sending us this incredible video. A long line of transport trucks looking to move through the area. The highways in our area began shutting down systematically Sunday night as the weather system moved into the Northeast. In Sudbury, the impact has been widespread. A lot of snow hitting the city hard and fast. The city at this hour remains under significant weather event. Some transit routes are operating on detours. CTV's Madison Merrier has more.
Sudbury residents are digging out their cars or in some cases calling a tow.
I was driving everybody home just before the storm was fully engulfed. And I got to turn on to Montague and my car got stuck and just wouldn't go. So I had to leave it till today till we get a tow truck to come and take it.
The city says that restoring residential and rural roads may take up to 3 days, but they're using all the equipment at their disposal.
Sometimes if there is a vehicle on the road and we can squeeze by, we will. But right now the focus is to get that one pass in so that people can get back on the roads and out of their driveways. And there is the expectation that we will have to go back right and widen up those lanes.
The severe weather event left the city covered in a mixture of deep snow and freezing rain, which makes clearing roads more difficult.
We don't normally plow a road with a backhoe or a loader, so we are utilizing different pieces of equipment to get us through as well, because some of the snowpack is hard for a conventional plow to make it through. So we've had to plow with graders and loaders and backhoes as opposed to just the regular plow.
The city is asking those who can to remove the snow at the ends of their driveway, but they add they're trying to get out and help where possible. However, there is no timeline on the snow removal. Madison Merrier, CTV News, Sudbury.
Power during the dinner hour was out to at least 1,000 customers on Manitoulin Island and a chunk of people near French River. Hydro One at last word was estimating a restoration on the island at 11 p.m. Good news is progress is being made. There was around 250 around Lake Manitou when we last looked, and more than 100 north of Highway 64. Crews are said to be still working in the field, working at restoring power. Sudbury's snow budget was $1.3 million in the red even before Monday's storm. That's according to a report heading to the Operations Committee on Monday that details how the city is over budget. According to its authors, there were 4 major snow events in January alone. While the total January accumulation was below the 5-year average for the same period, there was an additional 14 millimeters of rain. The cost of this past storm won't be known for a couple of months. There is, however, a reserve fund to pay for shortfalls over the winter. 2 sports facilities have sustained damage as a result of the heavy snowfall. The tennis dome at Queen's Athletic in Sudbury, known as the Igloo, has sustained damage. In a social media post yesterday, the Sudbury Indoor Tennis Center announced it was closed until further notice and that regular updates would follow. The facility is operated by the SITC but is owned by the city. The Lancer Dome also sustained damage. No word yet on the status of either facility. Fire crews across the region are reminding everyone to clear around vents and gas meters as they dig out from the storm. Vents can get blocked by heavy snowfall like the one we just experienced, causing carbon monoxide to build up in the home. They are also reminding everyone that carbon monoxide detectors are required in all homes with fuel burning appliances. Concerns over the snow load on the roofs of the recreation complex and library in Espanola have closed the facilities until further notice. The town confirms after an internal assessment this morning the buildings were closed out of caution. The recreation complex is a hub for activities including hockey, figure skating, a gym and pool, among other activities. In a statement, the town of Espanola says, "We understand it is March break and there are disappointed to be able to not welcome patrons to our facility over the next few days. An external contractor will be working on snow removal from the roof, likely starting tomorrow, and we look forward to reopening as soon as possible. A further update is expected tomorrow." Canada Post issuing a red delivery service alert for several communities in the north today. Mail delivery has been suspended in Kirkland Lake, Timmins, Kapuskasing, Sault Ste. Marie, North Bay and Sudbury for the day. This is due to the recent weather events. Mail delivery will resume when conditions improve and it is safe to do so. In other news, Sault Ste. Marie Police, in conjunction with police in Waterloo and the OPP, say they've seized more than $840,000 in drugs as part of Project Deception Lake. A 24-year-old Kitchener man and a 47-year-old Orangeville man are now facing several charges. According to investigators, a search of the one suspect's vehicle and a search of a home in the 700 block of Wellington Street East found suspected fentanyl, suspected cocaine, suspected methamphetamine, cutting agents, packaging materials, digital scales, and various property. Both men are being held awaiting a bail hearing. We're learning more about a standoff involving the Sudbury police over the weekend in the community of Valcarin. A man and a woman now face charges of robbery with a firearm, disguised with intent, and several other weapons-related offenses. On Saturday, 2 suspects reportedly tried to rob a gas station and fled to a home between Isabel and Division Streets. Police executed a search warrant and seized 2 firearms and ammunition. One of the guns is believed to have been used in the robbery. Provincial police and the Ministry of Natural Resources officers conducted snowmobile safety enforcement in the North Bay region over the weekend. Police interacted with 468 snow machines out on the trails, serving 67 offense notices or warnings. 1 roadside alcohol test was administered, resulting in a 7-day suspension. Well, the couple behind a youth restorative program in Sudbury is working to keep it going. CTV's Angela Gummel reports.
So we changed the height of the risers.
Rick Ozzy Osborne explains how he uses this bike to connect with troubled youth, rebuilding the vehicle while also working to rebuild their lives.
I see myself in the kids I work with, and I see my professor and my dad, the men in my life, in me. as I'm doing this.
Ozzy uses his own life as an example of restoration, having been incarcerated, addicted to drugs, and part of biker gangs. But he turned it all around.
If I can give you the names of the people who all of a sudden cared about me, when it made no sense, right? I was acting out and they said, well, I see something in this guy, I'm going to run with him. And so I'm now that. We're now that.
He and his wife Heather run a program called Ozzy's Garage Sudbury, working with troubled youth between the ages of 13 and 19. He uses his past experiences and his knowledge of motorcycles to gain trust and provide mentorship, while Heather provides emotional support and social skills. Skills that all too often these teens have never learned.
In some ways, it feels like we're just getting started because it took a long time to build relationships with all of the other agencies that work with youth, because this is not a silo, right? We can't work with youth in silos.
Sudbury District Restorative Justice, which refers youth to the program, is now helping the Osbornes find funding. The couple says previous federal funding for the program will run out at the end of June, leaving the future uncertain.
Yes, you spend money working on a program like this, but guess how much it costs to keep somebody in the penitentiary, or in the jail system, 6 figures a year. Whereas this is a small way to catch guys. I could sit here, for a while and give all these success stories of boys that have come into this and now have a different trajectory.
Their next step in developing the program is to create a peer mentorship aspect where volunteers who've come through the program would help mentor other youth just coming in. Angela Gamble, CTV News, Sudbury.
Time now for a short break here on CTV News. Coming up, Rick will have your full weather forecast. For now, a look at the weather warning we have in place tonight. Right now, we have a special weather statement in place for Highway 17 along the Lake Superior coastline. What we've got is a low pressure system tracking its way across northern Ontario. It's going to bring snowfall accumulations of up to 15 centimeters over the higher elevations, and we'll have blowing snow up to 50 kilometers. And it's going to move into the system tracking northeast until at least Thursday morning. Let's take a look at the current conditions. And it is a chilly one out there, minus 28 in Timmins. Ouch. Most of us, all of us actually, in the double digits for lows. Minus 17 in Sudbury, minus 18 in North Bay, minus 10 in Parry Sound. We're seeing a little bit of flurry action in around Wawa and Chapleau. A little bit maybe in Elliott Lake. We'll have details after the break.
When you see it happen, send it to CTV News. Text 10400 from your screen to ours. Text 10400.
Well, the last time we spoke at this late hour, we were gearing up for a lot of snow and precipitation in general heading into the weekend. Things are looking a lot better. We've got a bit of precipitation and some sunshine in our forecast coming up. Let's have a look at our forecast radar. Yes, we do have some precipitation in the form of snow and some flurries, but nothing compared to what we experienced last weekend, and that's a good sign. Let's take a look now at our 7-day numbers. Sudbury Nickel Belt, snow tomorrow, a couple of centimeters during the day, 2 to 4 at night, minus 6 your high. Chance of flurries Thursday. Friday, some snow, minus 1. Chance of snow Saturday. And take a look at Sunday, Monday, plus 1 and minus 1. Some sun and cloud on both days. Normally, you should be sitting at about plus 1 at this time of the year. Sault Ste. Marie, Algoma, flurries for tomorrow, 5 centimeters during the day, 2 centimeters at night, high of minus 2. 2 degrees Thursday, sun and cloud. Snow on Friday, 2 degrees, plus 1 Saturday and Sunday. Chance of snow, chance of flurries. And Monday, how about sun and cloud, minus 1. Not bad with some of those temperatures. Timmins, Cochrane, Kapuskasing, periods of snow late tomorrow. Minus 6 your expected high. Thursday, chance of flurries, minus 2. Snow on Friday, minus 5. Chance of flurries Saturday, minus 3. Minus 2 Sunday, sun and cloud. And Monday, minus 4 degrees. And more of the same with Timiskaming Shores and Kirkland Lake. Periods of snow late tomorrow once again. Minus 6, chance of flurries on Thursday at plus 1. Minus 6 Friday, snow warming up to minus 3 Saturday. Chance of snow again, minus 3 degrees Sunday, sun and cloud. More sun and cloud on Monday with an expected high of around minus 2. And again, that normal for this time of the year, creeping up to plus 1 for Timiskaming Shores and Kirkland Lake. North Bay, West Nipissing, periods of snow tomorrow late during the day. 2 to 4 centimeters, -5 your high. Thursday, chance of flurries at 2, -2 Friday, snow, chance of snow Saturday +1, +1 again on Sunday, sun and cloud, and Monday more sun and cloud, which is nice to start off the week with the reading of -1. Even your evening temperatures aren't all that bad. The only blip on the radar, -13 come Sunday evening. So Ian, we're back. And again, the weather picture much better than it was last week at this time heading into the weekend. So again, some nicer temperatures and yes, even some sunny periods. Back to you.
I'll take sunny. Thanks so much, Rick. Well, the province is looking at expanding access to HOV lanes as part of an attempt to ease congestion on Ontario's highways. It's just one of a number of new measures the Ford government has proposed in recent days. CTV Siobhan Morris reports.
It's a new proposal to help drivers riding alone get to their destinations sooner.
If there's a traffic jam or whatever, 7, 8 o'clock at night, people should be able to use the HOV lanes.
Ontario is also going to let you bring booze from home to enjoy at some street festivals. A 48-hour flurry of announcements and initiatives, opening up bail hearings, pushing the feds to legalize carrying pepper spray.
This is to defend yourself when some crazy nut comes after you.
To CTV political analyst Scott Reed, this all makes sense.
This is right in his wheelhouse politically, and in some ways I think the Premier is trying to reinforce those kind of populist issues that he's on, but at the same time push away some of the bad news.
Like the firestorm set off last week over tightening freedom of information rules. It would keep calls, texts, and other records from the Premier, ministers, and their staff out of public reach. The changes, retroactive.
I think everything he said in the last few days is all about distracting from the fact that he doesn't want people to have access to his cell phone records because he's trying to hide something.
Doug Ford makes no secret of using his personal phone for work. In January, a court ordered him to turn his records over. Today, Ford made clear his phone is the reason for the change.
When it comes to a conversation within cabinet and on personal cell phones, that's not should be FYable.
The interim Liberal leader says the Premier's trying to duck accountability for public business on his private phone.
He's got the Greenbelt investigation that's ongoing. He's got the Skills Development Fund investigation ongoing. He's got Therma and God knows what else.
The clampdown on access to information comes with updated cybersecurity plans. The Premier says Ontario needs to keep an eye on adversaries.
Be it China, North Korea, Russia, and if anyone thinks that they aren't on to us and everywhere else in the world, well, you're sadly mistaken.
Fraser says if security was so important, surely the Premier wouldn't be doing government work on a personal device. At Queen's Park, Siobhan Morris, CTV News.
A Northern Ontario woman says her condition remains a medical mystery. She's seen more than 30 specialists in Ontario and says her last hope is a clinic in the U.S. And a word of warning, some of the images in this next story may appear graphic to some. CTV's Amanda Hicks reports.
It is a full-time job when you become sick in Ontario.
For more than 2 decades, Karina Gorham has been dedicated to helping others through her foot care clinic in Greater Sudbury. But now her own health is in a state of crisis. For 3 years, a progressive condition has been destroying the tissues in her face.
From the very first day I went for help, it was like, there's nothing we can do, and has been like that, so steady, with multiple hospitals and multiple doctors where they would just be like, either don't know what it is or don't know where to send you.
With her conditioning worsening, she was forced to close her business 4 months ago. Gorham has seen over 30 specialists across the province and has been admitted to 6 hospitals.
Patients with a rare disease get 5 to 7 misdiagnoses. They get a wrong diagnosis. It's because the clinician looks at it and says, okay, I think it's this because this is based on my experience, right? So they get a diagnosis, they may get treatment, and of course, it's not the right one.
Gorham says her last hope is the Cleveland Clinic in Ohio. Ohio. While it could not comment on specific cases, in a statement to CTV News, the Ministry of Health says in part, should a physician identify that their patient may require services outside of the country, they can apply to the out-of-country prior approval program for consideration of funding. All applications are reviewed on a case-by-case basis. Gorham says her doctor submitted a 400-page document to the Ministry of Health for the funding, but it was denied.
This is not how care should be available to the people of Ontario. It has to change. Rare disease strategies exist in other parts that we could copy and paste, more or less, bring to Ontario.
While another application is pending, Gorham has spent $30,000 out of pocket, money raised largely thanks to support from her own community. While she waits for answers, she hopes sharing her story will encourage others to advocate for their own health.
I still feel like I'm not done yet, but you know, I do have hope coming back from Cleveland, though. I do.
Amanda Hicks, CTV News, Sudbury.
Still ahead tonight on CTV News. It's St. Patrick's Day. We'll check out one of the biggest celebrations in the world. There was OHL action today. The Sudbury Wolves had a March break matinee in Brampton.
It's Gonchar and David Green who are slow to get up, and Green hobbling his way to the bench as Hovan scores.
The Wolves would get on the board late in the second period, but the Brampton Steelheads already had 5 goals in the game. The Wolves would stop the bleeding, but the Steelheads swim away with a 6-3 victory. Medical school graduates have now been matched with residency training programs across the country, including a first-time situation in Sault Ste. Marie. CTV's Corey Nordstrom has more.
11 new medical residents are set to arrive in the Sault, and for the first time, first-year pediatric residents will have the border city as their primary training site.
It definitely puts us on the map for pediatric residency training. I think being able to attract not 1, but 2 graduates of medical school to join us for our residency program. I think that really speaks to the strength of our local program and the strength of our local teachers within the Northern Ontario School of Medicine.
Those 11 graduates will be spread across the Sault Area Hospital, Group Health Centre, and Algoma Public Health. At the health unit, they will be onboarding a public health and preventative medicine resident, in recent years becoming a core site for the training program where the resident spends the majority of their time.
Anytime you can have a physician trained locally, that's great for the community. They learn about the community, they meet the people, they learn about the different partnerships in order to best do their job most effectively.
It's really nice to be able to work in a place where you've had the chance to learn the system a little bit, and it has been nice to some of the additional clinical work I've done. It's been nice to hit the ground running with that knowledge.
Residency programs range from 2 to 5 years in length, and those coming to the Sault are all from the Northern Ontario School of Medicine. Also of the 11 are 2 integrated family medicine, emergency medicine residents, 1 psychiatry resident, and 5 family medicine residents.
This is a part of our overall growth in medical education in the Sault, and so we're also looking in the coming years to be adding more of our medical students, like our senior medical students first, and then earlier year ones over time.
Though it takes years after they arrive, residents can greatly expand the capacity of the doctors that they work under as they take on more responsibility. This cohort will begin their work in the Sault on July 1st. Corey Nordstrom, CTV News, Sault Ste. Marie.
A dazzling daylight fireball flashed across the sky over the eastern U.S. and Canada today.
What the was that?
The Meteor produced a fiery streak and rumbled like thunder as it broke the sound barrier. NASA says the fireball was first spotted above Lake Erie this morning.
Whoa, what the was that?
Asteroid weighing about 7,000 kilograms that fragmented into meteors over parts of Ohio. Finally for us tonight, did you kiss the Blarney Stone? Maybe under all of this new snow, find even a 4-leaf clover. While the weather might not be the most ideal for us, today was St. Patrick's Day. And New York City has one of the biggest celebrations in the world. Very few cities embrace the luck of the Irish quite like the Big Apple. Tens of thousands of people, including Mayor Mamdani and some green-clad pets, line the streets for the 265th St. Patrick's Day Parade. Well, it's now officially after midnight, so let me be one of the first to wish you a top of the morning to you all. That takes us to the end of our newscast this Tuesday. For the latest news anytime, remember you can head to our website, ctvnewsnorthernontario.ca. You can also download our CTV News app. Thanks for watching. Happy St. Patrick's Day, and we'll see you tomorrow. Good night.